Greetings, friends! Welcome to the fire. You know that, previous story about that bully that got his just rewards? Well, apparently there's a part 2. A bully gets their just rewards. Part 2. r/RPG horror stories, posted by Darkside Marauder. Part 2 of the story. The next session, the DM had us encounter some psionic squirrels. The party ranger befriended the squirrels, but the player of the half-giant was still salty, so he killed all the squirrels. We then got attacked by grass that burrows into your hide and drains your blood. The grass kills our earth cleric and is doing massive damage to our monk. The half-giant's player brings in his fire cleric and lights the grass on fire. The grass dies, but rather than putting out the fire, increases its size and damage, and the player starts cackling. We try to talk the player down, but he won't stop. We KO the fire cleric and save the monk. The player has a meeting with the caravan master to figure out what to do with the fire cleric. During the conversation, the fire cleric wakes up, kills the caravan master, and the fire cleric and the half-giant runs away. Unbeknownst to the rest of us, the player of the half-giant and the monk and one other player had private meetings with the DM about trying to take over the caravan or kill other PCs. We discovered this after the game self-destructed. One player, playing a mutant telepath, was going to use psionics to control the party and kill those who resisted. The player of the half-giant was bringing in a mercenary company to take over the caravan and use psionics to indoctrinate the PCs to his cause or kill those who resisted. The player of the monk simply wanted to murder the PCs in their sleep. Next session, this is all sprung on us in a massive cluster frag. PCs died left and right, with myself and one other player baffled at what was happening. The DM laughed harder and harder with each PC death. The half-giant's player started crying and left. The player of the telepath stormed out when his telepath was killed, and the monk simply coup de grace every PC or NPC that went down during the fight until he got killed. When the dust settled, 3 characters were still alive. My mall gladiator, a 7-year-old half-elf wizard, and a elf bard. The DM, once he was done laughing, said,
"Now that's out of the way, we can get back to the story."
Since we were playing at my apartment, I told the DM to get out. DM said that because he's the DM, he doesn't have to leave, and the story goes on. I told him that he was no longer welcome and that he needs to leave or I would call apartment security. He begrudgingly left, muttering how it's just a game and that he had fun with all the chaos. Wow. Yikes. In the previous installment of the story, I was pretty much, you know what? At least the DM was a somewhat impartial arbiter of the rules. Woo! Boy, do I retract that now. If anything, we learned that in this entry, that the DM did it for their own amusement and general chaos to pit players against each other. At this point, I do want to say, if issues do arise during the game, take it out of game and work it out in real life like rational adults. In the previous entry of the story, we learned that there were issues that the players did take to the DM, who basically told them to just work it out during the game itself, which, as we can see here now, the entire game pretty much self-destructed. I also want to point out that it's pretty hilarious that the DM thought that he couldn't get kicked out of OP's apartment just because he was a DM. OP, get out. DM,
But it's my game.
OP, and this is my apartment. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.